Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to be looking at the Soulblight Gravelords, but we're going to do something a little bit different from the normal start collecting box or Vanguard box set videos that we do. This one, we're going to look at how you can start a Soulblight Gravelords force using the Warhammer Quest Cursed City box set, so building a force around Radukar the Wolf. Now, in this video, we're going to go through, like normal, we'll go through all the contents of the Cursed City box set for the bad guys, for Radukar and his Soulblight Gravelords, and then we'll look at some other units we can use to expand upon this initial box set here, and then finally, at the end of the video, we're going to show you a 1500 point army list, because this box set, with what it needs, sort of, will come to just over that, and that'll enable you to use all the models inside this box set as well. Now, let's talk about the contents of the box set, and first of all, we have Radukar the Wolf. Now, Radukar the Wolf is the less dangerous of the two versions of Radukar, though he is sufficiently cheaper than the Beast. He also is a wizard, so he has one spell that he can cast in each hero phase. He can also unbind, dispel once, 6 wounds, 4 up save. He's got 5 attacks with his Veercross Barrow Blade, 3s and 3s, rem 1 damage 2. He's got the hunger, like you would expect from all vampires, where each time he fights after all his attacks have been resolved, you can heal a number of wounds allocated to the unit equal to the number of wounds or mortal wounds he causes. Call of the Hunt is really cool. In the combat phase, if he made a charge move in the same turn, you can add one to the attacks characteristic of any melee weapons used by friendly Veercross summonable units within 12 inch of him. And loyal to the last means Kasagi Nightguard near him can protect him. Now, joining him, we then have Gilius the Chamberlain. This is the first of the characters that join him. This is the sort of old man. Now, he has a wizard that's a 1 cast, 1 unbind. He's the trusted lieutenant, where friendly Veercross summonable units have a ward of 5 up, where they hold within 12 inch of this unit, which is pretty cool. Getting a nice ward of 5 is really cool. Now, you also have his base attacks. He's got his Necrotizing Bolts, which are 18 inch, 2d6 range, 4s and 4s, rem 1 damage 2, so pretty good little ranged attack on him. We then have Watch Captain Halgrim, which has his Cursed Halberd, 5 attacks, 3s and 3s, rem 1 damage 2. Cursed Halberd means he will do some mortal wounds, just like Graveguard there, and Disciplined Advance, this unit can use the at the double command up to 3 times to friendly Veercross Death Rider units in the same phase. If it does so, no command points are spent for the second and third time they would be used, but he is another character we can grab in to support a bunch of our forces. Lastly, we have Gorslav the Gravekeeper. Arise means once per turn at the end of your movement phase, you can pick a friendly Veercross Deadwalker Zombies unit that's been destroyed and replace it with a unit of half the amount of models. Also, Keeper of the Corpse Gunner means if this unit's within 3 inch of any Veercross Deadwalker Zombies, before you allocate a wound or mortal wound to this unit, he can palm them off to the zombies on a 2+, which is pretty darn awesome. Now, first of all, we get 10 Death Rattle Skeletons inside this box set. Death Rattle Skeletons are one of the baseline Battleline choices we have for the army. They're going to give you a solid profile to begin with. So you've got 1 wound, 5 up save, but you do have the Skeletal Legion rule where at the start of combat, you roll a dice for each model that's been slain in the unit. On a 4+, they just get back up. Tied Bones and Blades as well will mean if this unit ever outnumbers the enemy, they'll actually have a point of rend on their attack. So they'll have 1 attack, 4s and 3s, rem 1 damage 1 if they outnumber the enemy. Next up, we have the Deadwalker Zombies. Now, we only get 10 in this box set, but there is a ton of additional little minis like little Gremlins and Gretchen, the zombified cats, and all the bats as well that I think if you mix them in with your zombies, you can easily make a unit of 20 Deadwalker Zombies and it'll look completely fine on the tabletop. Actually look probably cooler than a regular zombie unit. Now, Deadwalker Zombies themselves, they are going to have 2 attacks each, 5s and 4s, no rend damage 1, but their big thing is drag down and torn apart each time a model in this unit is slain by an attack made by a melee weapon. On a 5+, the attacking unit will suffer a mortal wound, and the nearly dead means that when they kill models, they can potentially bring models back to their unit. Moving on, we then have the Kasagi Nightguard. These are a really fun unit, I think, to bring to the tabletop for your force here. Now, first of all, these are the bodyguard unit that are going to protect your Radukar the Wolf, but they also have 2 attacks, 3s and 3s, rem 1 damage 2, they've got a built-in 5-up ward, and they also get +1 attack while they're near Radukar the Wolf or Radukar the Beast, which is pretty cool. We then have the Veercross Bloodborne. These are single units, they come in 3, and it should be mentioned that the Kosagi and the Varasi we'll talk about in a sec are also single. You can't reinforce them in any way. But the Radukar Bloodborne, they're elites, so they can use commands on themselves. Shadow Fast means after deployment, but before the first battle round begins, you can move this unit up to 10 inch, which is cool. Vampiric Agility means it can pass across terrain features as if they had the fly rule, and they've got the ability, the hunger, to heal as well. 3 attacks each, 3s and 3s, roll 1 damage 2. You know, a nice little punchy unit that is pretty fast with 10 inch movement as well. Lastly, we have the Vargas gear. This is 8 wounds on a 5+ save here for the big monster. It's got 4 attacks with his talons, 3s and 3s, run 1 damage 2, and another D3 attacks with the Gaping Maw, 3s, 2s, rend 2, damage 2. This model can also attempt charges within 18 inch and roll 3d6 for said charges. It's also got the hunger as well because, well, it is a vampire. And so, looking at some other units we can bring to the table. Now, the first one I want to talk about are Direwolves, because if you're playing with vehicles where obviously Radukar and all of that are from, they actually have some allegiance abilities that will bring Direwolves to the table for free for you. So Direwolves are definitely a unit you want to go pick up. Along with probably expanding upon your zombie and your skeleton warriors, you want to bring some extra units to the table and buff up those units, because you've got some really cool pieces that will give them quite a lot to benefit from. But Direwolves themselves, Direwolves are, you know, a 2 wound model that's both a Deadwalker and summonable unit. 5 up save, they've got 2 attacks each, 4s and 4s, no rend damage 1. But they have a cool ability where they're actually eligible to pile in from 6 inch away and make attacks from 6 inch away and activate from 6 inch away, which is really cool and super useful. Now, next up, I want to talk about some units that can help us fit this entire force in a 1-drop army, or at least if we are playing in larger points, in as many fewer drops as we can, getting us a battle regiment, so we're not having to, you know, go over 4 drops for the army. The first of these is going to be the Mortis Engine, which I think is a really fun unit to bring to the table. I actually really like my Mortis Engine. I think it's one of the coolest models in the army. But first of all, you've got the Reliquary, where each time a friendly Soulblight Gravelord wizard successfully casts a spell that's not unbound, or dispels an endless spell, place 1 Reliquary counter token beside this unit to a maximum of 6. Once per battle in your hero phase, you can say this unit will unleash the energies on the Reliquary, and if you do so, each enemy unit within 6 inch will suffer a number of mortal wounds equal to the number of Reliquary counters. See, once per game, you can potentially do a 6 mortal wound burst out from the model, which is pretty cool. Whale of the Damned. In your shooting phase, you roll a dice for each enemy unit within range of this Whale of the Damned ability, and on a 4+, that unit will suffer D3 mortal wounds. This can have a 16-inch range, so a nice another lot of aura buff, you know. This could be a turn where you've got your Whale of the Damned for D3 plus another 6. D3 plus 6 mortal wounds is nothing to shirk about at all. Next, you have the Nexus of Death Energy, and this is a really fun. Each time you pick a friendly Soulblight Gravelords unit wholly within 12 inch of this unit by using the Deathly Invocations battle trait, you can either heal up to D3 plus 3 wounds allocated to the unit instead of 3, or if no wounds have been allocated, you return a number of slain models equal to D3 plus 3 or less instead of 3 or less. This is really cool. I think, you know, it really does benefit if you have some bigger units. It's got some cool abilities. The ability to just do some spread out mortal wounds is really, really useful. You know, that turn, if you can get 9 mortal wounds, and this thing does a nice big aura of 9 mortal wounds to everyone around it, it can be really, really devastating. Next up, we have the Terrorgeist and Zombie Dragon. Now, these actually come out of the same kit, so you can build these. You can probably work some way to magnetize to get both these models in the same kit if you really wanted to. First of all, though, the Terrorgeist, its big thing is the Death Streak, where it effectively will roll against your opponent's bravery, adding its Death Streak modifier, and will do some mortal wounds. And the Gaping Maw is really fun in combat, where if it ever rolls a 6 to hit with its Fanged Maw, it'll just do a flat 6 mortal wounds. The other option we have here is the Zombie Dragon. This has the Pestilential Breath, D6 attacks, 3s and 3s, round 1 damage 3, which is really fun, and can also be set up off the table in reserves and deployed down from the skies. And so here we have our Soulblight Gravelords army sample armor list, 1490 out of 1500. For the Virkos Dynasty, using Curse City as our core. Now, we've got the grand strategy, Lust for Domination. What this means is we have to control our grave sites at the end of the game. And then we've got the Triumph, or 10 points under, we've got Inspired. +1 wound can be really, really useful. Now, Radukar the Wolf is going to be our general, and what's really cool about Virkos is when you're playing in this particular subfaction, named characters can actually take both the command traits and the artifacts of power. So, We've got Radukar here with Spur Trackers, which will allow him to have friendly Deadwalker units move an extra 3 inch while they'll hold within 9 inch of the general. And then we've also got the Ulfincarni Phylactery, where we'll add one to the ward rolls for friendly Virkos summonable units for the purposes of the Deathless Minions battle trait while they hold within 9 inch. So effectively, he's going to try and stick around some of the units and get them some bonuses. His spell will be Viral Transference. He can cast this on an enemy model and effectively take their wounds and replenish his. Torgilius the Chamberlain will have Fading Vigor as he's a Necromancer. This is a -1 attack spell. Then we have Watch Captain Halgrim, who, you know, I could have put this on someone else, but I think it's just, you know, narratively right. He's got the standard of the Orphan Watch here. Each time your opponent spends a command point on a 4+, you'll gain an extra one. A nice, really fun artifact. And then we have Gorslav the Gravekeeper as well, rounding out our heroes. Battleline wise, we've got 40 Deadwalker zombies and 30 Death Rounder skeletons, 2 big blobs of fighters. And then units wise, we've got the Korsagi, the Varxi, and the Virkos Bloodborne all in the force as well. To keep those units alive, we've got the Mortis engine in the force as well, and 2 battalions here with a battle regiment wrapping most of our force up. And the command entourage were magnificent because we can get the extra artifact and actually make use of it as getting us the second artifact here. Meaning we're a 4-drop force here, 135 wounds, 1490, all our reinforcement points used up, but a really fun Soulblight Gravelords army using your models from Curse City. If you've got some ideas on how to put them together, how to build an army using Curse City as the core, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and drop a comment letting us know what you enjoyed about the video down in the comments below. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description for you to come join. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, link down in the video's description as well are the best ways to help support the channel. This can either be by grabbing some merch from our Teespring or Ko-fi stores, or by grabbing some product from one of our many channel sponsors, which are linked down in the video's description as well, like Baron of Dice. Or you can join our Patreon or YouTube members, the best ways to help support the channel. If you do so, you'll get a fantastic little shout out at the end of the video, like all these amazing people, our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, Andy C, and our YouTube members: Green Rich Gaming, Ronya, Lockloric, the Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, Davis Weir, James Tillman, Gargamel196, Disco, and John Castle. Special thank you to all of you for helping support the channel and your continual support, and a massive special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel, and for everyone who helps make the channel do what it's able to do, whether that's coming on for battle reports or indeed the amazing people that help run our Discord and live streams as well. Thank you all once again for your support. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.